I like much Cristiano Ronaldo because he's a hard worker. No, I forget. I like much Messi because he's genius. I think you have another version, right? You like much Neymar Junior Santos because he's amazing. The others like Messi. I mean Pele, Ronaldinho, and others. Let us talk about the sport, the metaphysics, the mind, the movement of the sport, before the condition of rules, the birth of stopwatches, and the commercialization of modern arenas. Sport was not a leisure activity. It was a violent, sacred, and deeply spiritual ritual. In the ancient world, to move the body at its physical limit was an interface directly with the divine, to train for the survival of the tribe, and the reenact the cosmic battles of the gods. Below is the comprehensive synthesis of everything athletic, imperial, spiritual, in the eras before Christ. You are all welcome. This is INB, the ancestral and the prehistoric foundation, or if you can say prehistoric time. At the dawn of humanity, physical movement was the thin line between life and extinction. You get? Physical movement was the thin line between life and extinction. The anatomy of survival for every primary athletic movement we celebrate today, if I can say, like running, jumping, throwing, and wrestling, was originally a critical survival mechanism. The persistent hand. If you are talking about persistent hand, ancestology reveals that long distance running was our first evolutionary weapon. Our humans utilized persistence hunting, literally running prey to death by relying on human strength and endurance to overheat animals over a massive distances. The sublimation of weapons, as we can say here, the javelin, the bow and the arrow and the stone thrown were not designed for points. They were the tools of the apex predator. When wildlife became scarce, or tribes settled into agricultural societies, these life or death skills were ritualized into a competitive games to keep the young hunters sharp and combat ready. The sacred empires and the cosmic battlegrounds. As great civilizations rose, sports migrated from raw survival to highly organized state rituals, where physical exertion was offered as currency to the gods. The Persian Empire was taking sports like the game of kings. Now it was a noble activity, if I can say. Polo or shogun developed in ancient Persia. Polo was not originally a sport for spectator leisure, but a high-stakes training ground for the elite royal cavalry. The imperial purpose was being achieved here as it is simulated tactical warfare on the horseback, demanding absolute mastery, military discipline, and split-second decision-making. It was the ultimate demonstration of imperial dominance and the equestrian scale. When we are talking about this, we cannot go without talking about Mesoamerican ball game, or what is called today Pix or Urama, the portal to the underworld, to the Maya and the early Mesoamerican civilizations. The stone ball court was a ritual architectural gateway to Zibarba, the underworld. The cosmic reenactment also can, as we can say here, the heavy solid rubber ball represented the celestial movement of the sun and the moon. Players did not pray for personal glory. They were acting out of primordial mythological battle at the hero twins against the lords of death. The game frequently concluded with ritual decapitation. The blood of sacrificed players was highly revered, depicted in carvings as turning into serpents and the fertile crops to nourish the earth and ensure the continuation of the cosmos. This was being taken as the blood offering. For the ancient Greeks, athletics, or what they, which is from the word athroi meaning struggles or labors, were inseparable from religious worship and the civic state. If we are talking about the Greek athletic trinity, we cannot go without talking about the divine virtue or the soul's glory. We cannot let this soul's glory or divine virtue was called arete, and we cannot go without talking about the ponos, the sacred pain, the physical ordeal. We cannot go without talking about the kudos, divine glory, immortalizing fame. This was an ancient Greek athletic trinity. The ancient Olympic Games are founded in 776 before Christ, was presenting the liturgy of Zeus, who was held in the sacred sanctuary of Olympia. The games were the first and the foremost a religious festival honoring Zeus. The physical agony or ponos of the athlete was a sacrificial offering of the energy to the deity. We cannot ignore the sacred truce, or what is called Ekesheria. So holy was this religious athletic festival that all wars and conflicts between warring Greek city-states were legally suspended. Safe passages was guaranteed to all who traveled to the sanctuary, proving that the spiritual pool of sports transcended geopolitical bloodshed. We cannot ignore here the pentathlon. Pentathlon introduced the ultimate test of the complete warrior, combining the long jump, javelin, discus, foot race, and wrestling. It was designed to produce the perfect soldier, emphasizing military discipline and harmony of mind and body. This was amazing. The Spartan agogy. This was another state-manufactured warriors. In Sparta, sports and physical training were entirely stripped of individual expression. Under the brutal agoge system, athlete training was weaponized by the state to forge unbeatable, disciplined infantrymen. We cannot go without putting an eye on the rise of the Roman spectacle. I am talking about the things that happened between 753 before Christ to 1. As the Greece went and Rome rose, the spiritual pursuit of individual arrayed virtue was slowly repressed by massive state-sponsored sensory overload designed for mass psychological control. I am talking about Circus Maximus and the chariot racing. The origin in Rome's early monarchical and republican periods, chariot races were dedicated to the god Consus, an agricultural deity. It was a brutal, high-speed sport where drivers faced frequent spectacular deaths. I can't go without talking here on the early gladiatorial rites, whereby long before the massive stone amphitheaters of the imperial age, gladiatorial combat began as the Munera, private funeral games held to honor the deceased. The spilling of the human blood on the graves of ancestors was believed to appease spirits and carry the dead safely into the afterlife. All of those things we are talking about, we cannot go without letting you go and verify them. They are deep historical, spiritual, and tactical dimensions of sports before Christ. The following fundamental differences would help you, of course. The Gardena in Norman athletics of the ancient world. This is also in Oxford University Press. This seminar work explores the transition of the sport from primitive survival to the highly structured religious festivals in Greece and Rome. We cannot give you one reference. Go in Scarborough, John, Facets of Heroic Life, Twine Publishers. This provides a deep analysis on how ancient Greek athletic competition was viewed as a spiritual, liturgy, and civic duty. I like number 3. That is why I'm going to give you free. Go take also Mira Stephen G. The Ancient Greek Athletics, Yale University Press. It is a comprehensive breakdown of the archaeological evidence of the ancient stadiums, the Olympic truths, and the physical reality of the ancient athlete. Thank you so much for today.